Welcome back to the She Thrives Influential Women podcast. I am your host, Lori Murphy, and I am an empowerment coach for women. And today I have a very special guest, Tina Kadish. She is another fabulous and empowering woman that I met at the Warrior Women Bob Global Women Conference back in New Jersey. Was it June 1st?
In
Is that
June, June
Oh my
1st.
God.
Yes, I know.
And she's amazing. She's definitely somebody who I'm glad I connected with because I know I could get and learn a lot from her. Tina is a business coach. She is also a published author and a speaker, and she also hosts her own podcast, which she'll tell us a little bit about. And I will be able to be a guest on hers down the road, which we're really excited about.
Yes.
But what Tina does is she offers tools and strategies she helps new entrepreneurs, women that are aspiring to be entrepreneurs, discovering how to build their business, get them out of their 9 to 5 and get them really going. She's got a story that is impactful, and I cannot wait for her to share all about her. So without further ado, Tina, how are you today?
I'm doing great. And thank you, Lori, for having me. I know when we met 2 months ago already, and time flies. I know time flies. And hearing your story and how you help women and how you yourself are in transition yourself. You're in a corporate career and right now, and you're building your business, and you're also working on your book, right? Or you published your book, your first book.
I published my very first ebook recently,
Yes.
and I also am a co-author in an upcoming anthology, which will be released on the 17th of this month. So,
Yes, that's right.
yep,
Informed to risk. Yes,
yes.
yes, I love that. Yes. So, yeah, so I empower women who are in that career transition. The too many women are stuck in a job, they're unhappy, they're miserable, to put it simply, and they have no direction. So I began my business when I got laid off. And I realized, I was in training and development. I got laid off. And when I got laid off, there was that uncertainty, but I was angry. I felt rejected because I had just been promoted. I put all of my sweat in this company for 9 years, and I liked it. And when I got laid off, it really threw me for a loop because I had never been laid off.
Mm.
So for you listeners here, I don't know if you've experienced this, but I had always quit jobs, but this time they quit on me. And so it really was an unsettling feeling, and there was uncertainty. So what I did was I started networking and really quickly realized in my research that over 85% of women are not happy. And I said, wow, I want to turn that around. What can I do? But in doing that, I learned that I wanted to be an entrepreneur because I wanted freedom. And when I got laid off, I said, I don't want to be at the mercy of another company ever again.
Right.
And so I got certified to help women find their passions. And I started my business helping women find their passion. However, because, we have these gremlins that creep in our mind called fear
Oh,
and
yes.
doubt and that whole imposter syndrome. And I said, who's going to want to work with Tina? I'm going to go get a job. So I went and got a job as a recruiter while building my business. I did not quit on my dream as an entrepreneur. However, as a recruiter, I got some great skills. But in 2018, I finally escaped the 9 to 5 again on my terms now. And this time I'm 100% committed, all in. I was doing it part-time before, and I became a business coach during that time, when I was thinking of leaving. So I became a business coach because what I learned is a lot of women want to start a business and they
Right.
have no idea how to start, where to go, what to do. So I work with those new women entrepreneurs to start a business, create that business blueprint. It's like your GPS
Yeah.
that you need. You can't get in a car if you don't know where you're going, right?
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
Baking a cake, you need a recipe, right? With all the
Mm-hmm.
ingredients to create that finished product. And it amazes me how many women and men, I believe too, will start a business. And the first thing they do is build a website, get a logo, and they don't know what to do, how to do it, how to market themselves. Like even don't know what they're offering.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, and so that really is something that I want to help women realize, that you may have the idea, but how are you going to execute this idea? So that's where I come in.
Wow. You know, I love that you do this because it's very needed. Like women like myself, like I didn't know how to start a business. I essentially was taking a course to be a health coach, and I already had some network marketing background. So I just started going on Facebook and putting out there that I was taking clients. And, but when it really came down to having to really like learn how to build a business, start a podcast, all the things, like it was really something to try to navigate.
Oh, yes. It's, and the marketing is so big part of your business, is how do you create that visibility? What are your products? What are you offering to people when someone says they want to work with you? Where are you leading them to?
Yeah,
Do you know where to lead them? Do you have the tools,
right.
programs to offer them? And so do you know how to price your programs? And that is where I come in. And because it is so important to know that. And so, that's why a lot of us will just go out and not do that. And that was me. That was me when I got laid off and I wanted to start a business. I did the same, and I started to research, but I was spinning my wheels because a lot of times we're trying to figure it all out on our own, and we're taking advantage of all the freebies, and
Hmm.
we're taking longer, and the learning curve and the time is longer
Yes.
when you can work with someone, and it would shorten that time, and you get that guidance and that support, the right coach, because I've also worked with wrong coaches that have not helped me in my journey. Okay. And so
Hmm.
that's part of our learning,
Yes.
to discern who are the right people to work with, and are they aligned with what you need? Like, what do you need right now
Yeah.
is is so important.
Yeah. I I'm blown away right now. It's almost like I'm like, because like I have worked with a lot of group coaching, right? Like
Hmm.
I've done a lot of programs, that I've done a lot of trainings, and they've been very beneficial
Me too.
to my growth. However, there's still a lot of gray areas that I'm navigating as a business owner. So to be able
Yes.
to know that there are resources out there for someone that's like, yeah, I've been there and I know how to help get you out of that, is it's amazing. And I know you do a lot of workshops and
I
summits,
do.
and
I
I'd love
do.
to tell us a little more about that.
Yeah, so 2024, I started hosting my own summits. And now I bring women speakers in that are all in this employee to entrepreneur. Is the, my summits are called Beyond the 9 to 5, and I always have a theme. So last month I did something about balancing career and entrepreneurship. So I'm doing another one October 26th, and where I'm going to bring women speakers again together. I don't know what the theme is going to be, but it's helping women navigate the career to becoming an entrepreneur. Because like I said, we're taking programs, and I've taken programs, but then they don't teach you how to
Right.
implement what they've taught you. That's what I've learned in my own journeys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because I've gotten certified in this and that, but then I don't know how to start a business,
Yeah. Yeah.
what it takes,
Yeah.
and that's really what I feel is missing in in the coaching. New coaches come out, like you come out of a coaching certification, they teach you the theory, but have they taught you how to now make money from being a coach?
Exactly.
How are you going to get clients? Do you know who those clients are? Who's your avatar, your customer avatar?
Yeah.
What problem are you solving for them? You're not going to help everybody. You want to, and I know there's multiple theories on this. You don't want to niche down too narrow. You want to be somewhat broad. but you can't help everybody. And if
Exactly.
you're confused, your customers are going to be confused. So if your messaging is going to be confusing, and that's one of the things that I teach you is your messaging, and who you are and who you help and
Yeah,
how you help them. So that's so important because confused buyers are not going to buy.
exactly.
They're not.
Exactly.
They're not. They're not.
I say when I first started out, I definitely had a hard time in school, we didn't get there were those questions weren't really brought to us. It was just kind of like, okay, now you're a health coach, so go coach. And it's like, so I'm like, I have had a lot of people take advantage of the opportunities for gifted sessions and the programs I'd run for the free and
Yep. Yep.
all of that. But when I first started out, I was kind of like all over the place with, am I a health coach? But then again, she's messaging about inspiration and hope and, transformation and motivation. But, what is she really? And I had to sit down and look at that. And when I started hearing those questions from
Yep.
other business coaches and, talking about niching, and I had to sit down and really think about it and pray on it and be like, okay, who am I talking to? And I wrote everything out, like
Good.
the type of woman who am I talking to? And I'm writing it out, and
Good.
it's coming clear as day. Who? Women that were like me 5 years ago or 10 years ago. And what is
Mhm.
the end result? And if I had not been able to sit down and do that, I'd still be sitting here going, okay, who am I really talking to?
Right. Who are you
Right?
talking to? Who's your audience? And because I do an exercise with my clients, and I go through this exercise of their pains and desires. What are your customers' pains? And what are their desires? And I help them divide the page in half and list it all out. What are they feeling right now?
Mm,
And what do they want? And you being the problem solver for them and your messaging conveying online, when you're talking to people in a conversation like this, you can be clear in your messaging on who you're helping. And it's so important. And I'm glad that you did that exercise to know
yeah.
you're working with.
Yeah. I was doing a training course and I was just like, oh yeah, so who am I? You know what I mean? Because it's just like you get to it. I think that that's one of the things that is a challenge in the very beginning, especially when you're just starting out, is you don't really, you want to save the world. You want to help everybody. And
Exactly.
I learned that I can't.
Right. Not everybody. Nope. Yeah. You can't help
No.
everybody. Everybody may need what you offer.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But do they want it? Are they ready? Are they willing? That's the other thing is like, I want to work with women that are ready to take action. They're driven, they're ambitious, they're sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Oh, yes.
Those are the kind of women that I want, not the women that are still making excuses on why they can't.
Yes.
Those are not the women I'm looking for. So when
Right.
you have that clarity, it's very empowering.
Yes.
It really is.
Now, how long have you been coaching now? When did you start?
So 2012 is when I started. So it's already been 10 years on a part-time, very, very small scale, I'll be honest with you. I didn't really elevate my business until really 2016,
Mm-hmm.
and beyond, because you see, the timing, you have to be ready to say, I'm done and I'm ready to now do something about this. So even though I said I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but did I really want to be an entrepreneur? Was I really ready, committed to do the work? Because it
Mm-hmm.
takes work, and
Yes.
it takes being uncomfortable, and not everybody wants to be uncomfortable. They really
Right.
don't. They don't. They say that they're ready, but are they really? One of the things that I help in my coaching is overcoming those barriers. And my book, Freedom, the 7 Steps to Thrive, talks about the barriers. How do you find that freedom? And the big thing is that mindset. And I talk about the imposter syndrome in my book. So when I work with women, it's not just that they want to start a business, because a lot of times it's that inner work needs to be done first.
Yes.
Because not just you can start a business, put together all these strategies, but have you really done the inner work?
Right.
It's so important. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very important to do. Yeah. And that's sometimes missing also, not only the plan, but it's that inner work, that self-awareness, that reflection, like you were doing, like you were mentioning about that exercise you did.
Mm-hmm.
That's inner work,
Right.
you
Yeah. And I can tell you right now that 5 years ago, if I tried to start a business, there's no way because I hadn't done that type level of inner work yet.
right, right, exactly.
I was still, a few years into my sobriety, but I was still trying to figure out who the hell I was. Right. So it's
I
like,
know. Yeah,
I believe, and that's kind of like, where I come in as a coach is I help with that inner work to get you ready to take the steps where you come in and
right,
let's do the strategies and you know what I mean? So it's really,
right.
you have to do the inner work, figure out who you are first
Yeah.
and get that, get the groundwork to overcoming fear and finding the confidence to be able to say, okay, I'm going to start.
Exactly. I know. I love the work that you're doing because you're helping them with the fear. You're helping them with the confidence because that is so missing a lot. And there's the limiting beliefs that we have, that
Mhm.
why are we not doing that? What's stopping us? You know,
Right.
I was there. What was stopping me was that imposter syndrome that I didn't believe I was good enough. I
Yep.
didn't believe that I had value. I didn't even know what my value was
Yeah.
also,
Yep.
and what was the real problem that I solve. And you got to get clear on that.
Yes.
Oh, and that will boost your confidence. And I believe also when you look at your past accomplishments, because we all have them, and those successes in our jobs, we have had successes. We have amazing skills, but we
Yes.
discount them.
Exactly. And I find like in the line of work that I've been doing for 23 years, I've
Yeah.
been in the dental field, is not only do you discredit your progress, but I definitely feel as though that there is a lack of positive reinforcement in
Yes.
it could be in other fields as well. I have seen it, but I know that in my field especially, you are more or less going to get criticized and knocked down before you'll ever be praised for the success and what you've done to contribute to the growth of the practice.
That's awful.
And
Yeah,
it's
that's
very
awful.
draining. And after 23 years, for myself, it's like I'm so it's
Done.
hard. It is very, and I think I struggle with it more now than I used to because I don't even want to be doing it anymore.
I know. So you're at the point that you're done, you're ready, and I'm sick and tired of it. And to go into an environment every day
Hmm.
that's negative, it's draining, it's exhausting.
Yes.
I know, I know.
Yes.
And you would think that businesses would realize that you're not motivating people with negativity. But yet they don't get it. I think, they don't get it.
Yeah.
They think that that's the way. Well, you should be lucky you have a job. No, you should be lucky you have an employee that comes to work every day that helps you to run a business. Because without people, companies would have no businesses.
Exactly.
They would not have a company. Businesses wouldn't have a business. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. But they don't understand
Yeah.
that.
I completely can understand that 100%. Um, I've experienced it within this past year, where it's like I've had some incidences with my current place. It's a great office and I love the people I work with. And that's probably why I still hang on so much is
Yeah,
I love the people I work with. But there have been, a lot of things even recently that have come up where it's just like, I, and we could talk about this more on your podcast, but it's like you get to this point, and I think other women that are listening can relate where you get to this point. It's like, why am I even doing this every day?
right. You have to ask yourself, yes. So we're going
You
to dig
know?
deeper on that. Why are you doing that? Because environments like that are just they're not helping you with your overall well-being, your health, your mental, physical, all of that. is so, yeah, it's so jeopardizing that. It really
Yeah.
does. Yeah, really does.
Tina, I want to hear more about your book.
Okay. Yeah. So it's called Freedom, 7 Steps to Thrive in Life and Business. And I go through, when I wrote this book, because freedom was so important to me, I said, what does freedom mean to me? And so F is faith, R is release, E is evaluation, second E is energy, the D is determination, O is optimism, and M is mindset. And so I go deep into them. And in the book, there's reflection questions, like journal prompts.
Ooh.
And so it's not at the end of each chapter, there's questions that they actually go through. So I want people to really go through this. And, I have a course from my book that I've created called Success Incubator. And that really goes deeper into the 7 steps and more exercises in that course as well. And yeah, because like I said before, you got to do the inner work. You
Yeah.
really do. And I felt that, how can I integrate the freedom into my coaching in my, with business, with new entrepreneurs, and bring that all together. So my 3-month coaching program that I have is called Empower Her, and it integrates both pieces.
That's amazing.
Thank
And
you.
where can you find your book? If
Okay,
somebody
so
listens.
everything is on www.fromjobtojoy.com. My
Okay.
books, my programs, videos, blogs, everything is available there. How to contact me. I'm on Facebook, Tina Kadish. I'm on LinkedIn, Tina Kadish, to reach me. I'm on Instagram, but I'm more on Facebook and LinkedIn,
Mm-hmm.
where you can connect with me.
Awesome. I'll definitely be posting your links in the description of the podcast so people
Good,
can find you. But
good.
how long now, when you wrote your book, what inspired you to finally get that out?
So I was in a speakers conference on a cruise ship, surrounded with other speakers who had a book. They already were authors. And because I want to be a professional speaker, paid professional speaker. And the woman who was organizing the event, she said, well, if you're an author, you can speak on my ship next year. So I said, oh God, I've never thought of being an author. And so I became an author because I wanted to get speaking, because I wanted to open the door for more speaking opportunities. And it took me a while to write it. It took me about 3 years
Mm-hmm.
to get it out. And I finally launched it in 2021. And finally, yeah, I launched it in 2021. And so I'm happy that I did that, because it really goes deep into that, like I said, the inner work that is so needed to help you really thrive.
Yeah. And the
Yeah.
course that you have that's connected to the book, is
Yes.
that something that they have to contact you separately in order to be able to, like, so like they start reading the book and now they want to dive into that course? Or is there a separate like website link that'll,
Nope, it's the same website. On my website, they'll see a tab, Success Incubator, and they can go right ahead and purchase it. And then once I know that they purchased it, I will send them everything that they need. And I also offer that, and in the Success Incubator, they get a free copy of my book, Freedom, and they get a coaching session with me as well. So in addition to the actual course, because I want to work with you, they get a workbook as well.
there's a lot
So
of
yes,
value in that.
yeah, and it's really it is a low investment. All right, it really is. For the course, it's under $300 investment, and it's at your own pace. I send you the videos after you pay for it, and I have found it really that, or women that have taken it have found it very helpful to them, and they didn't realize. Like, I go into limiting beliefs in the book, and I also in the course, and so the mindset, I go deeper in that, and they have exercises to do that are beyond the book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I highly recommend it to people, not because it's mine, but I have found it that people have said that to me.
Oh, wow. I'm interested. I'm interested.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you. Yes, just take a look at it, and let me know how I can help you, the listeners, because I really want to help you,
Yeah.
get on that path. So, and I talk about fear. Fear is huge. And I know you specialize on that and confidence. So I love the fact that you go even deeper in that.
Right.
Share your story about it,
Yeah.
because that stops us. We stay so stuck in fear. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I once described it to a client I was working with that it's like a comfort zone. So you have your comfort zone is a circle that's around you,
Yep.
and you're right smack dab in the middle of it. So one of the steps that like we were taking was working on getting her closer to leaving that circle so that she was on the outside of it. So now she's
Mm,
outside of the comfort zone.
good. Good.
And I found that to be very impactful because it really helped her when she could
Awesome.
visualize a circle and her being in the middle of it and then working her way to get outside of that
Nice.
circle.
Nice.
And I
Nice.
know because I've been stuck in that circle. And
Yeah, me
every
too.
and every once in a while, because that little imposter syndrome, the thing is, imposter syndrome likes to sneak up,
It
right?
does. It does.
Especially if something isn't going the way you want it to, it starts to kind of creep back in, and it's just like, hey,
I
you
know.
can't do this.
I know.
Hey,
You can't do it. Those thoughts that come in
yeah,
and
what
it's
were
like,
you
oh,
thinking? Thinking
I
you could do
know.
that?
I know. Who's gonna
So
want to
now it's
buy
like
from you? Who's
reeling
gonna
you back
want
into
to
the circle.
I know that. And you know what? One thing that I used to do a lot was comparing myself to others,
Oh,
thinking
yes.
others were better, more successful, making more money. But you know what? I've learned focus on you. What is your
Hmm.
value? What makes you unique is what's important because people need you for who you are, your gifts, your talents, your abilities,
Yeah,
and your story that you share. You can relate to what they're
absolutely.
going through.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, what would you say? Because you are a woman who has experienced leaving your corporate career to being an entrepreneur.
Mhm.
What has been the greatest reward so far in this transition for you?
The biggest reward is when women come to me and share, you really helped me to get clarity. Like for example, one woman, client of mine, IT director, IT becomes a spiritual counselor and is now does energy healing. She does all of the chakras, all that energy work. And she was doing a little bit in her corporate world, but what a big change. So when I see a change in people and what they've been able to do, create,
Hmm.
I'm making a difference,
Yeah.
and so it really is one person at a time.
Yeah.
I do. It's one person at a time that you can help. And, one thing as a new entrepreneur, we want instant gratification. We
Hmm.
want it quick and it takes time. Building a business takes time.
It
It,
does.
as they say, Rome wasn't built in a day. Your business is not built in a day. Okay. And,
Yes.
and I think that if you go back to your why are you in business, that will keep you going. And I talk about that in the book is weathering those ups and downs,
Hmm.
and staying resilient, because those ups and downs are going to happen in business, in life.
Yes.
They're not going to be, at least my life hasn't been peachy. There's challenges. Most people have challenges, ups and downs in business and otherwise that I talk to people every day. The common theme in entrepreneurship, they say, I'm not getting clients. I'm not getting clients. I'm not getting clients. It's slow. It's slow. I'm not getting clients. Why are you not getting clients? Let's talk about that. What is it that's missing? And so that's where we get deep. And like one woman today, she said, I need visibility. Okay, why are you not visible? Because it's up to you to be visible, but you may not know what to say when you get visible. That's the thing. That's the other thing. It's like, they say, go live, do these, do this, but do you know what to say? At least for me, I always feel like I have to have perfection, and that stops us also, perfectionism.
Hmm. Oh, yes.
I gave up that. It's like, you know what? I'm going to do a live. I don't care if my hair doesn't look great. I don't have any makeup on. I'm just going to be authentic.
Yes.
Because I don't know who's going to be listening to me. It could be someone, I don't want people to think that being an entrepreneur every day is perfect. So if
Right.
I'm going to come across dressed professional and, and all that, they're going to think, oh God, I have to be professional like that,
Yeah.
So you don't,
Yes.
yeah, I'm real and that's it.
And I think real is relatable.
It is.
Because we don't always get up every day and want to fix our hair. But like today was not a day for me where I wanted to, I was like, I know I have all these calls I have to do, but I also had to go for a mammogram at 7 in the morning. So it was wash my
Oh,
hair, dry it, throw it up, and put a little dress on, and out the door I went. Like, and I'm like, I'm
yeah.
fine with that. Like, and I
Yep.
too have gone live in my pajamas, my hair thrown, like if I had a
Good.
rough day at work, I'll still do it and just be like, hey, guess what? Today sucked, but here I am. Because,
Exactly.
you know, that that I feel, and because for me, that's what I look for when I'm looking for somebody to work
Yeah.
with is,
Yeah.
are they real? Like, are they willing to be transparent? And, you know, sometimes
Yeah.
I don't like, sometimes I stammer my words. Well, guess what? You can hear me. You get what I'm saying. Like,
I love it. No, I love it. Yeah, you just have to be authentic. Just be the real you. And that's the thing that relatability. People are going to buy from the people that they know, like, and trust. It's who they're going to feel aligned with. There's a lot of coaches out there.
yeah.
Not everybody's going to be aligned with you and me, and
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah. What do you, because I know like networking is a big part of it. Like,
It is.
I do the networking on social media, but I'm really working on trying to get off of the computer, get out from behind the screen, and get out into the real world.
Mm.
How do you feel? What would you suggest to somebody who is ready to go face to face and network? Where do you think they should start?
Well, I think they should start in a community of like-minded people, like them. That what are they looking for? Because like not every networking group is the audience that you're looking for. Like when I started networking when I was laid off, it was a meetup group of women that were all interested in the law of attraction, which by the way, meetup.com is a great way to network with individuals on multiple things. And I met women and men on the law of attraction. And during that, I met this woman who told me about the passion test program tool to help women identify their passions. And that's how I started my business, is helping them find their passion. But had I not started networking aligned with what I was interested in,
Okay.
I might not have found this tool that I then went on and learned more and got certified in. So when you're starting networking, finding the right community
Mm-hmm.
is important. The right vibe.
Mm-hmm.
There's vibes that are not for you. Like I'm not a BNI type of, networking. I don't want all that. I'm more aligned with the women communities,
Right.
that you can be, that are heart-centered, that are faith-based. I'm a faithful person. I'm a believer. I want to align myself. So it's really aligning with what are your values? What are you looking for?
Right.
And if you want to start a business, okay, there's business groups. Okay, you can join those business groups to help you start a business as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, really got to look at what are you aligned with? What are you looking for to surrounding yourself with?
Very true. And
Yeah,
that is a very good piece of advice. So
thank you.
that
Thank you.
so people don't wind up going to a group function and they find out that it had nothing to do with what they're looking to do. It didn't align
Yeah,
with, you're,
anything.
you're a health and wellness coach and you're going to a meetup on baked goods.
I know, exactly. So if you want to be in health and wellness, find those health and wellness. There's groups, holistic professionals
Mm-hmm.
that is out there. Find those, you know what I mean? Find the communities that are aligned with what you do, what your values are. It's so important. Like we met at a women conference,
Yes.
heart-centered group of women Had I not gone, I wouldn't have met you. I'm in Connecticut, you're in upstate New York. You know, we would never have met.
Exactly.
You know, those in-person events are very, very important. You
Yes.
know, I think as we are out there more and more in person, wherever you can find an in-person event is
Yeah.
good, is important.
Yeah. I think, it's funny you say that because I drove out to Rochester, which is 3.5 hours from where I am in Albany. Drove out to Rochester for a 1-day event. And it's, the thing is that my husband came with me. He helped me set up my table. I was a vendor. That's where I met Desiree.
Oh,
And her and I got talking. She told me about the conference. I was originally going to come just as a guest, but then I told her I was interested in speaking. And then she said that they had somebody who unfortunately had to step down and a
oh,
spot became available. So that was kind of how that all worked out.
wow.
And, you know, I didn't get any clients off of that event. But what it did
Right,
is, and this is the thing, my husband's like, this was kind of a waste. And I'm like, I go, no, it's not. And I go, you don't understand the opportunity that just came from this. Now
from that.
I'm in New Jersey. Now I'm in a room with all you women. Now I have all of these amazing women I'm connecting with. I'm learning
Exactly.
so much
Exactly.
from each and every single one of
I
you.
know.
You guys are all coming on my podcast. You know what I mean? And it's
That's an
just,
opportunity. I know. I think, well, because my husband would say the same thing. Did you get any clients from this? Did you get
yeah.
anything from that? I'm like, no, you don't understand.
You don't see it. It's like you don't see the bigger picture. I mean, I'm driving home from Rochester like, yeah, things are about to change, right? Like I just knew it. And then I left New Jersey. Now I had a 4.5 hour ride from there back
Mm,
home. I didn't even
yeah.
stay the night. I drove home and that was about 4 hours of me just being able to absorb and process that
And
whole day.
decompress.
I
Yes.
had moments where I started to cry. I had moments where I was like, yeah, because I'm just like, nothing's going back to being the way it was.
Right.
And it
Exactly.
hasn't.
Exactly. And
And
just think,
that's the power of saying yes. That's the power of showing up.
it is. You got to show up and in the right room. Like I'm not saying to show up everywhere because it costs money. Is it the right opportunities also? But the visibility that you get, the connections you get, you just don't know where one connection can lead you to a client.
Right. Right.
It takes time. Remember I said earlier, it takes time to build a business.
It does. And that's one thing I keep telling myself when I have those moments. Because when I first started, I really thought that, posting on social media was going to be enough and then I was going to build my business. And, of course, life kind of got in the way. So there was about a good year and a half, 2 years where I wasn't able to 100% go in on it.
Mm,
COVID, marriage,
yeah.
house, honeymoons,
Yeah. Life.
loss. So I finally got, and I tell myself, because really, it's only been 7 months that I started really going in hard on
Mm,
my business. And I went from
yes.
having like nothing to some clients. Now I'm a public speaker. Now I'm an author. Now I have a podcast.
I
And that
know.
was just in 7 months. So I tell myself, it takes time to build a business. You can't build a house without the foundation because it'll crumble.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I'm
Exactly.
in the foundation building stage.
Yes, so important. Yeah, it is so important that
If
people
I,
understand
yeah,
that. Yeah,
if
it
I
is
lose
so
sight
important.
of that,
Yeah,
that's where I start getting that. I'm just going to give up. Why am
yeah.
I, like,
And people do that. That's the thing. People do quit as soon as something goes wrong.
it's
That is so, yeah, that is so.
entrepreneurship. There's a lot of risk and it's not necessarily for the faint of heart. It takes a lot of thick skin. And like, my one question for you too
Yeah,
is
yeah.
with networking, especially rejection. There's a lot of rejection.
Yes.
What would you tell somebody who is getting discouraged from the rejection?
It goes back to, first of all, learning from okay, why did you get rejected? Now, you might have a conversation with someone and they say no to your products and services, not to take it personal. It might not be the right time, but continue nurturing that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You might not be ready. but don't
Mhm.
lose the sight of that person. Keep
Right.
nurturing it. But going back to why are you in business? Why am I doing what I'm doing? If you have that vision, and it'll keep you going,
Hmm.
and when you know your value, you know what you solve. Not everybody's going to say yes. How many people are you talking to every day? How many offers are you putting out there? I still believe it's a numbers, and I hear that from other coaches. How many people, like one of the communities I'm in, he said the other night, he said, you need to be reaching out to 5 new people every day. 5 new people every day. One-on-one connection, reaching out. And I'm like, whoa, I don't do that.
Yeah.
He said you should be doing a live, a reel, and a story and a post, 2 to 3 posts a day. That's social media engagement. And I'm like, whoa, I do a post, but I don't do a live every day. Okay. And for the past 2 days, I've done a live every day. And I'm going to keep that going.
Yeah.
Okay. So keep going and keep going. And whatever inspires me to talk about, I'm going to talk about.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so getting back to the rejection, it's stay true to your value, your why, your vision, and know that it's not personal. But if there's a skill that you're missing, or what are you missing, then get support, get that guidance from someone that can help you. Surround yourself with network of people where you can grow, where you can learn. It's so important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This is
You're de-
great conversation.
it really is. And you're definitely empowering me and reminding me, because the one thing I don't do every day is reach out to, like, I try to do 3 to 5 people. I blocked off time in my calendar every day,
Yep.
30 minutes of
Yep.
outreach. There are days where I don't do it. Either I'm
Me
just
too.
too tired, my brain
Yeah.
is fried,
Yeah.
or I just don't get the time to sit down and send those messages. But that's like also a thing too. It's like people are not always going to respond. I get a lot
Exactly.
more nothing than I do anything,
Right.
but I can say that I have found that a lot of people, first off, they're not sure if you're some kind of scammer or if you're legit.
Mm-hmm.
I have learned that, like, one of the girls who was on my podcast a couple weeks ago almost didn't respond to me when I reached out to her about being on my podcast
Wow.
because she thought I was an AI bot.
I
But
know.
so
See,
she's
these
like,
AI bots, I know,
yeah.
you got to be
And
careful with these AI bots. Like, how do I really know if it's an AI bot then?
so voice clips. Sometimes I'll send voice clips where I
I do
just
that
say
all the time. And
hello and
I've been doing
um
that more.
yeah.
I've been sending voice clips now to more people. When I get a friend request, I check them out to see what about them, the mutual
Yes.
friends. I do some research, and then I'll send them a voice clip after I've accepted it.
Yep.
And that's a practice to get into, because
Yes.
you want to create processes, you want to create systems
Yes.
in
I will
business.
look at the mutual friends and see who the mutual friends are. So if
Yeah,
it's a group of,
me
like,
too.
if there's 20 people that are mutual friends and I see that they're friends with you, Desiree, Kim Fisher, all of these amazing women, I'm like, I
Yep,
know that it's a part of this circle. And I
exactly.
want to, and I want to be connected. But if it's like I see a bunch of other I get a lot of like VAs or like business
Me too.
consultants.
I
I
get
get
so
like
many.
20 of them a week, and they're in my
Too.
inbox. So I can see how people would be speculated, but the one thing I can say is that I try to remind myself not to give up. Give it a little few, sometimes I give it a couple days before I reach back out, sometimes maybe even a couple weeks.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't want to ever push anybody or make them think I'm trying to sell them on anything. I'm just trying to just say hello. You've been on my Facebook for, 5 years. I've never even talked to you.
exactly, exactly. Let's have a conversation.
Like,
You know,
how's your day?
how's your day going?
You
And I
know?
mean, I've had people say, "Why do you want to know?" And I'm like, "Whoa, goodbye." Like, really?
I
Like, let's
had one
have a
woman.
conversation. I'm not trying to sell you. And if somebody pitches me something, I'll say, this is not the way you build a relationship. So I advise you when you reach out to someone, it's about getting to know that person.
Oh yeah, I like the ones where they just go right into buy my $10,000, for 6-month package. And I'm
I
just
know,
like,
I know.
that's not, I actually have told somebody before. I'm like, listen, I had somebody, a VA once reached out to me, said, now's not the time. Message me in about 6 months and see where I'm at. 2 weeks later, they reached out to me again. I go, did I not tell you to reach out in
6
six
months.
months?
Wow.
I was like, I go, as a business owner, I'm just going to suggest to you, this feels pressuring and uncomfortable.
And it's a
And now
sales.
I don't want to do business with you.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what I've done too. And what annoys me is that they haven't gotten to know your business, what you do, because they haven't had a conversation with you, and you're pitching something to me that you don't even know if I need it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so
Yeah.
true. So there's so many great things here to talk about that,
Yes.
that I hope you found value in. I love it.
Absolutely.
Love it.
I'm having so much fun, but
Me
so
too.
we have to move over to your podcast now,
Yes.
which
Yes.
which I can't wait to tell everybody about that, and announce the date and the time. And but thank you so much, Tina, for taking the time today to come and talk about what you do and educate us on entrepreneurship and starting a business.
Thank you so much, Lori. It's been a pleasure. And until
Absolutely.
next time, again,
Yes, and
bye.
I will definitely be putting all of her contact information, her website in the description. You definitely want to check out, Tina, get to know her, connect with her. And if you have any questions for me, if there's any way that I can be of help to you in your journey, you can reach me. I am on Facebook under Lori A. Murphy at Empowerment Coach for Women. You can email me at M as in Michael, C empowerment@gmail.com. And I wish you all the very best. And thank you again, Tina. And for now, I will leave you with this: let go of fear and let your spirit shine.
Thank you, Lori.
Thank you, Tina.
Okay, bye.